by the Kalahari staff. Again, you'll be dismissed by the Kalahari staff. Again, like I said, we're excited to have everybody here for the 2024 George Martin Hall of Fame Awards Banquet. We're gathered here tonight to honor the excellence of Wisconsin wrestling and celebrate those who have made extraordinary contributions to our sport. And at this time, I would like to announce to you or introduce to you our Master of Ceremonies, our Executive Director, Mr. Luke Francois.
Thank you all for being here tonight. This annual gathering is a testament to the strength and vitality of our wrestling community. Tonight we celebrate excellence, honor, legacy, and we inspire future generations of coaches. But first I'd like to take a moment to express our sincere gratitude to an individual and a group who have made this fall clinic possible. First, a round of applause for our fall clinic chair, Wendell Bean. Wendell, your dedication and hard work, attention to detail, have ensured the success of this event. So thank you for going above and beyond and providing our attendees an enriching opportunity and enjoyable experience this evening. We'd also like to extend our heartfelt appreciation to the Kalahari Resort and Convention Center and staff. Their professionalism, their hospitality, their willingness to accommodate our transition from Green Bay has been exceptional. Thank you, Kalahari. Finally, I want to thank all of you, our attendees, for your continued support of the Wisconsin Wrestling Coaches Association. Your presence here today is a testament to your commitment to the sport of wrestling and your desire to learn and grow as coaches. We are honored to have you here as part of our wrestling community. Thank you. And now, to open our invocation, I would like to introduce our very own from Wisconsin, Olympic silver and gold medalist, Ben Peterson.
Thank you, and I'm going to ask you to pray and thank God for our food, so join me if you would. Father in heaven, we do thank you for the privilege that we have to be here tonight. We thank you for the athletes that you've given skill, given health, that will be coaching and guiding in these coming months. We thank you for their parents and their families that support and stand behind them, the officials, and then our coaches. Incredible the ingenuity, the skill, the drive that our coaches in the state of Wisconsin have been to guide so many athletes for so long. And we pray for a strong and healthy and even safe season these coming months. And tonight, we thank you for this occasion. We thank you for the food and those who prepared it. We ask your blessing upon our time tonight this evening. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
All right, with that dedication, it is time for dinner. At this time, we will pause and enjoy your dinner. We will reconvene the program very shortly after we have a chance to get a bite to eat. Thank you. All right, here we go for our state level awards. And as recognized by the WWCA, our coaches of the year. Our first coach of the year, boys state coach of the year, Chaz Tremmel from Luxembourg Casco. Our boys assistant state coach of the year, Lance Fabry from Luxembourg Casco. Our girls state coach of the year, Carl DeLuca from Holman. Our girls assistant state coach of the year, Josh King from Lake Geneva Badger. Then our wrestlers of the year,
They're not here, but a couple coaches will grab the awards for them. Our boys state wrestler of the year, Connor Mirasola of West Bend West. And our girls wrestler of the year, Josie Stakowski of McWanago. And our Dave Schultz High School Excellence Award winner, Aiden Sinclair from Milton. Next, our team and individual team state champion coaches. In Division 1, the team and individual team state champion coach, Jeff Machik from Kakana. In Division 2, our team and individual team state champion coach, Chaz Churl from Luxembourg Casco. In D3, our team state champion coach, Chad Stelt from Fenimore. And in D3, our team individual state champion from Iowa Grand Highland, Ryan Allen. Our girls team individual state champion, Chad Bogich from Bonduel. And our WWCA Girls Assistant Coaching Staff of the Year for Section 4, the Lake Geneva Badger Girls Program. And Josh King representing. Moving on to our district level awards, beginning with our Assistant District Coaches of the Year. District 1, Adam Kaufman from Hudson. District 2, Tim Spray from Wisconsin Rapids. District 3 Assistant Coach of the Year, Colton Brem, Menominee. District 4 Assistant, Lance Fabry, Luxembourg Casco. District 5 Assistants of the Year, Pete Eckert from Oregon and Josh Wanek from Muscadet Riverdale. District 6, Mark Bardenwerper and Steve Betts from Watertown, as well as Paul Majors from Whitewater. District 7, Jeremy Ott from Glendale Nicolay. And District 8, Val Pochi from Concordia University. Now for our district head coaches of the year. From District 1, Joe Raygor from St. Croix Falls. District 2, Scott Bennett from Wisconsin Rapids and Jason Champagne from Coleman. District 3, Ryland Lubeck from Menominee. District 4, Chaz Tremble from Luxembourg Casco. District 5, Brian Allen from Iowa Grand Highland. District 6, Corey McCulley from Hartford. District 7, Ernie Millard from Thiensville Homestead. And District 8, Kevin Cook from Concordia University. Congratulations to all our state and district level award winners. Starting off with our 20-year award winners, 20 years of service to the sport of wrestling in Wisconsin. Corey Bauer from Whitnall Greendale. Jason Bausman from Lake Geneva Badger. Jim Crowley from Winneconne. Joe Danner from Janesville Parker. Quinn Elliott from Menominee Falls. Matt Gartman from Grafton. Brian Johnson from St. Croix Central. Brian Majewski from Greenfield. Mark Morrell from Oakfield. Tony Romano from Martin Luther. And Adam Vaughn from Watoma. Congratulations and thank you for your 20 years of service. Next, our 30 years of service award. Gordy Blackburn from Sun Prairie. Scott Bryant from Neilsville Greenwood Loyal. Doug Forsyth from North Fond du Lac. Greg Lodell from Edgerton. Jim Nelson from Sun Prairie. Dan Spilby from Stoughton. Brian Suchaki from Merrill. Jason Vogt from Janesville Craig. Bob Wozniak from Verona. Rick Yankee from Wisconsin Dells. Congratulations and thank you for your 30 years of service. Next, our 100 career dual victories as a head coach. First, Adam Davison from Stratford. Shane Fleming from Janesville Parker. Jesse Husick from Partyville. Deval Sino from Franklin. Brian Suchaki from Merrill. And Adam Vaughn from Watoma. Congratulations on 100 wins. Next, we have two winners with 200 career dual meet victories. First, Jim Nelson from Sun Prairie. And Kent Weiler from Evansville. Our final service award for tonight recognizes two outgoing members of the WWCA Executive Board. First, Patrick Rakovich, the former District 2 representative, and Doug Forsyth, the former website coordinator. Thank you for your service to the committee. Congratulations to all award winners. Please welcome back WWCA Executive Director, Dr. Luke Francois.
All right, thank you, Abe Graziano. Congratulations to all of our award recipients for years of service and accomplishments. Before we move to our main event this evening, which is our Hall of Fame inductions, I want to recognize the George Martin Hall of Fame members that are with us tonight. And I'm going to ask you to stand when your name is called and remain standing until all names are read. If you are a George Martin Hall of Fame recipient and your name is not recognized, I was unaware of your attendance tonight, and I sincerely apologize and ask for your forgiveness, and just ask you to stand at the time that your class or your year is being recognized, so you can be recognized alongside your peers. Please hold your applause until we've had a chance to honor all of our former Hall of Fame inductees. From the class of 2023, Dick Blosters and Greg Trosberg. From 2022, Mark Peterson, Mel Dow, Dave Bramble. From 2021, Joe Schwab, Tim Potratz, Brett Corner. From 2019, Dan Spilby. From 2018, Max Astrin, Bob Empey, and John Shevchek. From 2017, Blaine Felsman. From 2016, Scott Schmitz, Ben Ashton. Again, please stand. 2014, Jeff Matchek. 2012, John Quinlan, Ted Price, Steve McDaniel, Scott Arneson. 2011, Tom McGarvey, Wendell Bean. 2010, Jerry Peterson, Kevin Casper. 2008, Gary Gubnik. 2007, Dave Black. 2006, Bill Verbatim and Ken Manning. 2005, Don Moe, Don Hale, and Wayne Bruno. From 2003, Bob Olson. 2002, Jim Stevenson. From 1987, Bill West. 1984, Bernie Kane, Larry Marcianda. From 1980, Dwayne Clevin. From 1977, Ben Peterson. And from 2023, Bob Guru is here as well. Please stand and recognize all of our wonderful Hall of Fame recipients for the Wisconsin Wrestling and Coaches Association. Thank you. Thank you very much. We also have another group of people that I would like to recognize with the esteemed members that are in the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. Kindly rise for acknowledgement. Those that are involved in a National Wrestling Hall of Fame, please stand so we can honor you at this time. Thank you. With deep respect, we also pause to remember those Hall of Fame members we lost this past year. This year we lost Louis Bennett, Gail Douglas, Joe Castor, Daryl Lashin, Fred Lerke, Dave Rudrud, Keith Sweat, and those others that we name in our hearts. May we please take a moment of silence to remember these men. Thank you. Their contributions to Wisconsin wrestling will never be forgotten. It is now, thank you. It is now my honor to introduce our George Martin Hall of Fame Chairman, Tom McGarvey.
Good evening. We're here to celebrate and have you celebrate excellent gentlemen who are going into the George Martin Wrestling Hall of Fame. Keith Sweat passed away in September. Keith wrote many anecdotes that were pretty entertaining and interesting, and a lot of them were about education. And Keith and Jim and Nona Stevenson fashioned them into 3 books or 3 editions. I'd just like to read one of them. It's called Coaching Behavior. One of the first things I tell a young coach is you are a coach, not a fan or a parent. Fans can say whatever they feel like about coaches, athletes, refs. Coaches, even volunteers, are expected to be professional. As a coach, your opinion is often seen as fact, so if you disparage athletes, refs, or parents, can do a lot of harm. Coaches need to model proper behavior. If coaches scream at refs, so do kids and parents. If coaches blame athletes, so do kids and parents. Coaches need to be deaf to criticism. If coaches are smart, they will avoid confrontations, which they never win anyway. Parents want their kid to win. Parents and fans are not motivated by philosophy or sequential learning patterns. Don't get me wrong, I'm a parent and a fan. I embarrass my daughter at the Nationals when I am full fan side. If she wants me to behave, all she has to do is get me a coaching pass. Keith was pretty clever. You're not here to hear me speak, so I'm going to say very little and bring our individuals up. Our first is Brian Slater of New Lisbon. He is a 4-time high school champion and now a seasoned coach. Brian Slater.
member of 2018. And he turns 80 in March, so he's a young gentleman still. He didn't want me to say that today, but he came around to our classrooms and he wanted to get a youth program started. And so I took it home to my parents and I said, I think I want to try this. So they said, all right, let's do it. So we went to the first practice and I'm like, where's the ring? Why can't I jump off the top ring? Here I thought I was going to WWF or some WWE, but anyhow, I fell in love with the sport. I took a lot of lumps right away. And then some started to click with me, and I won a few state titles in freestyle Greco, folk style, some Northern Plains stuff. And next thing I know, Bud's asking me, "What are your goals for high school? What do you want to do?" I think it was the spring of my 8th grade year. So I thought long and hard about it. He was like, "Write 20 of them down." I wrote 20 down, and now I know he thought I was crazy. One of them was I wanted to be a 4-time state champ. At that time, there was only one Matt Murphy. I wanted to be a 4-time bi-state champ. There was none at that time. That's just a couple of them. I had one other crazy one. I only wanted to give up no more than 5 takedowns in my career. And then one of them was to be the best teammate leader I possibly could. Fast forward, I was the 3rd person to win 4 state titles. Craig Underwood did it the year prior to me. And then I was the first person to win 4 bi-state titles. And I think I was the teammate leader. And the other one was I gave up 4 takedowns. And one of them was, 2 of them were to the same guy. Actually, I met his buddy out in the hallway tonight. Gentleman from Milton. Took me down twice in the bi-state finals, but I still won, so that's what matters, right? So after high school, college was a hard decision. And I didn't know what I wanted to do right away until I met Barry Davis. And that was it. I knew where I wanted to go. Went down to Madison for a couple of years and decided I was done wrestling. I didn't feel like competing no more. I just didn't have that drive. So I went and talked to Barry. He understood me as a person. He said, the door is always open. You do what you got to do for you and your family. And that's kind of how we ended. But he always reached out to me probably once a week for my entire life, up until now still. So my wife and I decided to move back home. We started our family. And it happened to be that Bud had retired and there was 2 coaches previous and they both had quit. So they were looking for a new coach. So my wife kept pushing me about coaching. I didn't think I was ready yet because I was away from the sport for about 3 years. And I finally decided to do it. And it was probably one of the best decisions I could have done. Just helping other individuals and be able to get back to the sport that gave me so much. And I want to thank her for always supporting me, my kids' support. Through the years, I missed a lot of stuff, as all of us know in this room. It gets to be a long season, the winter season. And then also, you have the off season too, which if you want to be good, you got to do all that stuff. But I appreciate her pushing me, and I appreciate all my coaches along the line. I got a few of them in here. Coach Ben Moore, he was with me for 10 years. Chad Schultz, now is the head coach in Elizabeth. And Chris Faber, which is my captain of this thing. And then Bud Olson, and my old assistant high school coach too, Doug Pryor. But thank you, everybody. Thanks to my mom and dad too. I can't hear my dad, he's down there. He's the one that took me all over the place, but thank you.
He was a high school state champion at Coleman, a U.S. Navy veteran, and an All-American, and now an NCAA championship caliber wrestling official, Steve Scarlett.
I'd like to take 1 second. Good friend of ours from growing up, Joey Van Ditter, passed away, lost his battle with cancer on Tuesday. 3-time state champ, he was a Wisconsin Badger. And as quality of a wrestler he was a better person. Big in the community, big with his family, and always supported Dells Wrestling. So, Godspeed. It's all good. God, I remember coming to these things when I was respect, and the committee you put me in. I am very humble and really appreciate everything you guys have done for me. You guys have been more mentors to me than you can possibly imagine. Me personally, I was fortunate. I grew up in a small town called Coleman, very powerful wrestling program. When I found out I was going in, I went for a walk with my wife and I was telling her, I said, you know, my life has been crisscrossed by Hall of Fame members my entire life. I was 3 years old, I was sitting on Jim Douglas's lap. Roger Pill taught me how to shoot my first single. And as I went through life, they just kept showing up. Larry Marciano, I volunteered with him. Mark Peterson, I coached with him. Mike Blazek was one of my mentors as an official. It's just incredible the family that wrestling builds, and the people that you cross paths with. I mean, a couple other guys, Blaine's the one that put me up for this. The first time we met, we didn't like each other. Now he's one of my best friends. I was also fortunate to deal with Coach Jim Cook at WW Parkside. Took a chance on me. My brother called me up. I was literally on a ship in Italy. And he goes, you need to call Coach Cook. He's got a scholarship waiting for you. I called him collect. Back in the 90s, that's all you had. Call him collect. Back in the 80s. And Coach got me in, and under his tutelage, I was a three-time All-American for him, and I met some great people that are still part of my life. And then I moved on after college, and I coached. And the coaching group that's in here, the impact that you have on kids today is far beyond your belief. I mean, I haven't coached since 2005, and I still talk to the guys that I coached for 10 years, and the impact we make on their lives is far more reaching than you can possibly imagine. While I was with Coach Cook, I got hustled into what I really enjoy doing, and that's officiating. The Jim Cook, it's now called the Jim Cook Open, but our Open grew to like 325 people. Coach goes, we need another official. I'm like, I don't have a shirt, I don't have wristbands, I don't have black pants, I don't have anything. We'll take care of it. We're going to put him back in a wrestling room. 6 hours later, I walked out of the wrestling room and said, do we have some kind of rotation here? Because I've been here all by myself all day. Like half an hour later, they shut down that mat. And the head official there was a guy named Pete George, and he took me under his wing and got me into college wrestling. It's truly what I enjoy. You get the best seat in the house. You get to see some of the best athletes that ever participate in high school, in college, or freestyle, in Greco. And you get to be part of the match. If you're really good, you get to be part of the match without being part of the match. And that's what I strive for. I want to thank several people because I've been ingrained in this my whole life. I started in 1972 at the Lakeland Open. And the old guys in here, like Eric Lordy and several others, will remember that tournament. My mom hauled us all over the country. I got to see the national tournament in River Falls and enjoy meeting people that, to me, were gods. Lee Kemp, Gary Zizzo from Whitewater, all these people. You see them now, and they're I'm not a kid anymore, I'm an adult. They're your friends. Bill West is one of the greatest guys. I watched that guy, and I can never be as good as he was on the mat. He's one of my best friends. That's just so incredible. But I never would have got to where I am today. The last 34 years I've been married to an incredible lady. Any coach that's ever been to my wrestling tournaments has eaten her foods. Any official that's ever stayed at my house has had breakfast served by her. She's never questioned anything. She's done everything. She's always been there for me. two kids were little and I'm coaching, they would color underneath my chair in the corner. Until I got upset with the official and she dragged them all by their feet and they had to color their skates. But lastly, I want to thank my two children. They're the light of my life. My daughter grew up going to the wrestling room at 5 o'clock in the morning, 2 days a week, so I could train with Dennis Hall so he can make the Olympic team, and I could make the national finals. She had her toys in the corner. She played there. Senior high school is the only school she applied for. It's the only school she wanted to go to. When we dropped her off at school, my wife looked at her. My wife was a college softball player at Parkside also. She goes, "You stay away from the wrestlers and nothing but trouble." 7 months later, she brought home Luke. Luke was a 3-time All-American and 3-time national finalist at UW Parkside. He's the guy that you always want your daughter to bring home. Great guy. Together they have 4 beautiful granddaughters. Really, there's nothing better than having grandchildren. My son, Zach, kid was a way better wrestler than I ever was. He just wasn't mean like me. I loved watching him wrestle. I loved watching him grow up. I loved watching him as an adult. He's got my wife's personality. They're both scientists and they talk and I don't understand. So now I have a dog so I can talk to the dog. But he's a great official. If he really put his heart into it, I think he'd be better than I am. Not saying I'm that good, but he'd be better than me. He's got the passion, he's got the temperament to do it. But those two kids, you know, there's a saying that says when your kids grow up, when they still want to hang out with you, that says a lot about you as parents. And Cheryl and I are very blessed in that category. I want to shout out one more guy. I'm glad to see Nick Becker's here. He's got Parkside going in the right direction. I think it's the best program in the state. On that, thank you very much. Thank you to the committee. I'm honored. Have a good time. Steve Rogers, a 28-year successful head coaching career at Lewisburg with 10 state champions. Steve Rogers.
Before I get started, I can vouch for Steve's startup. You guys did have the best deals there. So thank you for all of that. Congratulations to the other inductees. Thank you, committee members, for your work and considering me to be inducted into the George Martin Wrestling Hall of Fame. I am truly honored. I love the sport of wrestling. I love everything it taught me and it taught my wrestlers. I wrestled for 4 years in high school. I officiated for 4 years, and then I started coaching wrestling. We built the program through a lot of help. We recruited through the school. I had a lot of help from coaches and our teaching staff. I always treated the wrestling room as an extension of the classroom. Our goal was to make good wrestlers, but more importantly, to shape young, great men and women. High school sports, when done right, are very important. Winning in stats are great, but the journey has to be the most important part. Now, how we get to the end point and how we turn out as individuals was the most important part to me. Four things were very important to me in life, business, and coaching. Surround yourself with great people. Always respect each other. Respect is huge. Lead by example and always keep God close. I am so blessed to have been a part of the Oostburg community and the Oostburg wrestling family. All of you are very dear to my heart. Thanks for everything. I would like to thank Gary Dexter for the nomination. I appreciate the work Gary put in for me. We met when his son and my youngest brother were young wrestlers. We had a lot of great talks and a great friendship. Gary, I appreciate everything. I also would like to thank Zach Rogers for helping Gary by getting emails and reaching out to so many people. Thank you to those past wrestlers that I had, and to all these people that wrote letters to me on my behalf. Past wrestlers, athletic directors, administrators, and a special official. And also, thank you, fellow coaches, for writing these letters on my behalf. I sure appreciate it. You've all been great friends to me. It is a little overwhelming for me to look out and see so many of my past wrestlers and managers here. I am so blessed to have you here and to care that much about me. I really appreciate it, guys and girls. I think of so many great memories as I talked to you beforehand. Wow, it's been a great trip. And also our wrestling fans and parents, thanks so much for making the trip down and celebrating this with me. I really appreciate it, along with our administration at Oostburg. A lot of you people are here. Thanks so much for taking the time for me. I can't thank you enough. I'd also like to thank my father-in-law, John Tabelli, for supporting us throughout the years, and thanks so much for making the trip here. And that moves me on to my family. I would like to thank my brothers, my sisters, my brother-in-laws and sisters-in-laws, and all my wonderful nieces and nephews. I've been blessed with a big family. I come from a family of 11, and I was right in the middle. 5 siblings, older and 5 younger. Thank all of you so much. I love you dearly, and wow, it's been a great road. And I really appreciate you coming here to help me celebrate this. So thank you all so much. And that leads me to the pillar of our family. My mom, Faye Rogers, is here. Thank you so much, Mom, for all you've done for all of us. She's been a great sounding block. We appreciate everything you've done for all of us, and we love you very much. So thanks a lot, Mom. Then, I need to thank my 2 sons, Zach and Jesse, for sharing your dad with for so many years, with so many different women and men. Thank you all so much. Jesse and Zach, in turn though, you inherited a lot of extra brothers and sisters. The wrestling program took such good care of you, and I'm so proud of you. Zach's wife, Kelly, is a great daughter-in-law, and great support to Zach, who is now coaching at Oostburg and taking over the program. They blessed us with 2 beautiful grandchildren. Jesse is back in the Oostburg area and is the library director. And for most of you that saw Jesse before matches, sitting in the bleachers, he'd be enjoying the book about 2 minutes before he'd have to go out. That would drive his father crazy. But thank you, we love you, and we're so very proud of you. Last but not least, it brings me to my wife, Chris. And usually I don't have a problem talking and giving speeches, but tonight's been a little bit hard for me. And the reason is I think of her quite often. Chris has been a great foundation to the Oostburg Wrestling program and a great help for me all the way through. She helped with the tournament. She would set things up. She would discuss issues that I would maybe be having. And just a great person. She's always been very thoughtful of others. A great school teacher herself of 33 years. I love you, Chris, and I really appreciate all the time we've gotten to spend together. And last, I would like to thank our Oostburg Wrestling community for this past summer. It's been very tough on us, and I can't believe the people in Oostburg and beyond reaching out and helping my family for this past summer. Thank you, family members, and thank all of you for taking such good care of us. Please keep sending the prayers. We love you, and we appreciate all of you. And thank you so much for such a great honor. God bless.
Chuck Rasmussen. Chuck is a member of the Wisconsin chapter of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, a member of the Wisconsin FFA Hall of Fame, and longtime successful coach at Lancaster High School. Chuck Rasmussen.
As any of you that know me know that I am not a very good speaker. My name is Son. The other two have been footwork like this other times. So,
okay, there's a lot of people here. I don't have a long speech because I was just told about this about an hour ago. But I want to start telling a story that I just learned about my dad tonight. And hold the booze because there's a basketball reference here. My grandpa was a big basketball player, so tonight I asked, how'd you get into wrestling, Dad? And he said, well, I got cut from the basketball team. And that started the legacy that he's created. The wrestling accolades, you guys can read about it, but several coaches, us three sons, all coach, and the lifestyle outside of wrestling, something to be proud of. As you can see, he never wants attention. He doesn't want to be talked about, but he deserves it. He's a role model on the wrestling mat and in life. He would want to thank Ken Manning, obviously, lifetime friend, co-coach, softball buddy, announcing, teaching colleague, our mother, Mary. I just thought it was normal to raise three boys, but she's supportive of everything. She must have enjoyed going to monster truck shows and baseball games, wrestling matches every weekend for 25 years. So that's mostly all I have. I just want to thank you for your guidance in life, wrestling, and say that anytime it's Saturday and I'm in a wrestling match, I'm proud to say yes when somebody says, "Aren't you Rez's boy?" So, thanks, everybody.
Dan Niebuhr. Dan is a 1984 WWCA champion and an NCAA Division I All-American. After college, Dan placed in over 30 international competitions in over 24 countries and was a USA Greco-Roman champion and World Cup silver medalist. Dan's high school coach, Bernie Kane, is here this evening, and his college coaches, Teddy Hazer and Jim Tiedemann, are here tonight. Dan Niebuhr.
Well, I used to get pretty nervous before my wrestling matches. Everybody in high school called me a gumby. It was only because I'd get so nervous, I would stretch the entire time waiting for my matches, which we all know can be hours. So I would stretch for hours. So, it was not natural. And, you know, I would say that I would much rather wrestle right now in front of this crowd than make speech. I'm going to need Chuck Sutton to come up here and talk for me. First of all, thank you to the Wisconsin Wrestling Coaches Association, the committee, for nominating me, and not nominating, but accepting me. It's a really great recognition, and I'm super honored by it. Wrestling's a tough sport. I don't know if there's any fans out there of Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's a pretty famous astrophysicist who wrestled for Harvard. And he said of wrestling, he said, if you're in a room full of people and you go around and ask what the toughest sport is, you might get 20 different answers. But anybody that's ever wrestled is going to say wrestling. I know this room is slightly biased, but I'm pretty sure we all agree that wrestling is the toughest sport. If there's anybody out there that disagrees, please raise your hand. Okay, good. We don't have to have anybody removed. I was actually pretty nervous. My wife might raise her hand. She's got a strong argument for ballet, and we've argued about it before. Debated, I should say. I had, well, when we go back to wrestling being tough, it's a tough sport. It's hard to reach all your goals. I had a lot of goals that I never met, like most of us in the room. You know, it's tough. When I got a call from Bernie Kane, my high school coach, telling me that I'd been nominated, and a call again saying I got in, I was like, oh, that's cool. Whenever I started going to the Hall of Fame, looking through it, and that's when I got accolade envy. I was looking through it and just looking at the guys, you know, so many Olympians, Olympic champions, world champions, 4-time state champions. It's kind of a hard group to belong to, and I feel like I've done some things, but it's tough to stand up here in front of you guys. I feel a little naked without some of those as those accomplishments. But really, if you've been in it long enough, you know you gotta nurse your ego a lot in this sport generally. And I've done plenty of that. But through it all, really, it's just an incredible ride. I look back and think, you know, it's not always the wins and the victories, the medals and the trophies, but it's how you got there and the people that got you there. I look back at just the amazing line that I had. I had teammates, arguably, some of the best guys in the world: Kendall Cross, John Smith. I trained with Rulon Gardner daily, Randy Couture, and I competed against guys like Dan Henderson, Shale Sonnen, and Dave Schultz. And so I just look back and, even that, it was just the times I had with guys traveling on the road, like he said. He took that part of my speech with how many countries and stuff. I mean, that was the best part for me. It was just the community of wrestlers. And we're all used to, the losses. And the hard thing with wrestling is that it is so difficult, and you're out there by yourself, that when you do get a victory, it doesn't have to be, a giant match or Olympic gold medal, but victory is a victory, and it's earned as a wrestler. You got there without luck. And so, with that, I really just like to thank some of the people that helped me along that road. And fitting that there were so many people in my life that were coaches that filled those roles. One of them, Bernie King, just a great role model for me as a kid. I wouldn't say I was troubled, but I would say I caused some trouble. And he definitely set me on a straight path. And any of you that know him, you probably know his reputation. I've heard of it before, but he really was inspirational to a lot of kids in my high school, not just the wrestler, but everybody respected him. And he just played a huge role in my life, and just an awesome guy that I'm still friends with, and I'd like to be in contact more. Second person is Kenny Hazen. Kenny was at MATC with me, and he wasn't in the room all the time coaching. He was athletic director, I believe, but he really would bring me in for talks all the time. And he also helped me kind of stay on the straight and narrow and really get through MATC and how to be a student and not just a wrestler. And he changed my life forever and gave me a lot of direction. Third person on that list that's here tonight is Jim Tiedemann. He was a really good coach, super good workout partner, and he's been an amazing friend and just a great guy. Last guy on that list that's here tonight is Paul Haig. Paul was an assistant coach at Madison East High School, and he just came in and he was so technical compared to anybody we'd seen there. And I can honestly say, without him showing me a Metzger, I don't know how many of you know that, I hope a lot of you do, if not, we'll show it later. But he showed me Metzger, made me practice it before the finals, knowing that I was going to be able to hit it in my match. I did, and the direct result, I won the state champion because of that motivation. So thank you, Paul. Lastly, I just want to give a shout out to my fan club, aka my family. They've always been super supportive and encouraged me to follow my dreams. And I didn't quit wrestling until I was 36. And there's a lot of people that tell you get a real job, but not my family. And so now I take their advice with a grain of salt. Thank you guys. And of course, my number one fan, I can say that now, but my dad passed away several years ago, but mom and dad traveled around the country and spent way too many nice days inside the gymnasiums. So definitely, thank you, Mom. Lastly, just want to say thank you for honoring me with this. It's great to be part of the wrestling community. It's a tight group, and I'm definitely proud to be here tonight. Thank you.
failed to mention that Dan was also a two-time junior college national champion at MATC. Scott Cleaver. I've known Scott since he was in high school. I had to be his practice dummy at the junior national camp. He was like the only kid at 155, and I was his practice dummy. If I could stay in a position, then he could hammer me. Scott pours his heart into wrestling 365 days a year. He has coached at every level, built the famous Cheesehead tournament, and now serving a vital role with Wisconsin Wrestling Federation and as a USA Wrestling Board of Directors. Scott has been honored as USA Wrestling Juniors Person of the Year. Scott Cleaver.
All right, unlike the rest of these guys, I can't shoot from my hip. So I'm going to read this because otherwise I'm going to get emotional. I'd like to congratulate the other members of the class of the 2024 Hall of Fame. Thank you to all the people that wrote letters endorsing my nomination and the athletes and families that I've had a chance to work with. Now, some of you might not be old enough to know what Kakana wrestling looked like in 1980. I do as I watched my brothers Nita Rockets beat Kakana 63-3. Later that year, my mom told me we were moving to Kakana, and I cried my eyes out. Well, things have worked out pretty well. But I'm really proud of being able to wrestle for Kakana through those transition years. The coaches there taught me something I still believe today. Kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Steve and Ann McDaniel, Dick and Pat Bentley were my surrogate parents. They cared, I trusted, and I loved them. My mom was one of the first female truck drivers in the state of Wisconsin. When we lived in Watertown, she worked at a truck stop, and she decided she was going to become a truck driver. She enrolled in Fox Valley Tech and achieved her dream. Back then, they said that's no place for a woman. She had to endure a lot of challenges. I learned a lot from her determination and grit. If you have a dream, you might as well dream big and get used to people telling you you'll never do that. I'd like to thank Hall of Fame coaches Steve McDaniel and Jeff Mochek for offering me the opportunity to be the head coach at Kakana Middle School. It was such a blessing to work with all these young wrestlers. See, at that age, we just worried about teaching them to love the sport first, and then we could teach them the sport. It made me a better coach and a better person. I was surrounded by great people that loved kids. They turned out to be great coaches. My brother, Jeff Cleaver, Brad Sanderfoot, Brian Diener, Mike Rager, and now head coach Matt Wallace were longtime assistants. They made coaching a blast, and they talked me off the ledge a few times. To all the coaches that coached in the balcony or the dungeon, thanks for the good times. The WWF has always seemed like a home to me since the first time I wrestled in the state tournament in Wisconsin Rapids in 8th grade. I made the national team as a sophomore, and wow was I exposed to great coaches. So many of those coaches poured into me and believed in me. I was just in awe being around such accomplished coaches. Many that are in this Hall of Fame. Keith Sweat gave me my first opportunity in 1986 to be on the Greco staff. Fred Lurkey, WWCA chair, a few years later asked me to be the cadet director. And I've been the state coach coordinator since Dave Black hired me in 2012. I was surrounded by greatness, and I just needed to listen and apply it. I would like to thank Dave Black and Todd Schaaf for all they have done for me in this state. And I want to thank all the WWF coaches I've been blessed to coach with. It's been an amazing run. Serving on the USA Wrestling and committees and boards has really given me an insight to the fuel, the flame within the great athletes. And I'll tell you what, I can't wait for you all to see LA in 2028. It's going to be amazing. The Cheesehead might have been the best test to follow through on my mom's determination and grit. When we started that tournament, I got laughed off the phone by several coaches. Nobody believed that the great teams around the country would come to Kaukauna, Wisconsin in the middle of January. Well, we stayed determined, and our gym was Apple Valley, Minnesota, St. Ed's, and Walsh Jesuit, Ohio. Many other premier programs have come since. It's become a place for Wisconsin to show we belong. Thank you to the hundreds of volunteers that serve every year to showcase our state. A special shout out to John Moore, Ann McDaniel, Kim Machek, Mary McDaniel, Austin Hanson, and the Meyerhoffers for all they have done. He's not here tonight, but I'd like to thank Shane Sparks for announcing several years at the Cheesehead. And together we were able to start a local radio show where at least I know we entertained each other. Man, that guy can talk. My family has embraced being a wrestling family. My wife Jenny really didn't know what she was getting into, but she knew that we were all about kids. She is my rock, she's my everything. Jenny doesn't want attention, but tonight she's getting it because I could never get here without her. My children, Alex, Zach, Keaton, and Carly, sacrificed a lot of time so that others could benefit. They've been involved in fundraisers since they were little. Heck, my daughter Carly could run the Cheesehead right now if we'd let her. I miss not having them here tonight, but Keaton is coaching on an aircraft carrier today for his college team, and I think that's pretty cool. And my daughter Carly is at NYU in class. My children know that I love them, but they also know that it's important for other children to know they're loved. To my friends and family that came tonight to celebrate, thank you. Thank you to the George Martin Hall of Fame Committee for this great honor. And the last thing I'd like to say is take out your phone, text somebody that impacted your life tonight, and tell them thank you. Thank you all.
I should clarify, I was a gopher for the junior national team, helping kind of coach, and he was an athlete. I wasn't actually wrestling on the team. And our last recipient of induction tonight is Bob Johnson, another FFA Hall of Fame member, teacher. Bob compiled a 199 and 35 gold record, numerous state tournaments, team appearances, and the state team runner-up in the 2002 state team championship at Milton. Bob Johnson.
Well, thank you, everybody. Certainly a pleasure to be here tonight, being honored for this fantastic award. Normally when I grab a microphone, it's about starting an auction, but we don't have an auction here tonight. Before I get started, you know something? There's people that put a lot of time in this thing, and people don't realize how much effort, how much time goes in to coordinate an event like this. But I'll tell you what, two people that had an impact in the National Hall of Fame here in Wisconsin, and this program here today, Tom McGarvey, Don Hale. Give those people a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And absolutely, I'm not going to stand up here and talk about John Johnson. Sure, I coached at Milton and said, hey, you never wrestled, you only wrestled in high school, you weren't a college wrestler, you never were in the state tournament, never going to be a successful coach. Well, they told me that when I became a name teacher, they told me that when I started the auction business, but guess what? It's not about me, it's about the people that surround me. And I've been fortunate over the years, not only in the auction business, not only in the wrestling career, but also recently in the bar business, where I take people, good people, put them around me, and guess what? Good things happen. So I'm here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about the people that make things happen. And you might have to be a success, you take good people and you put them around you, and I'll tell you what, the community support for wrestling, the parents, the administration at the school district years ago, and the wrestling families was phenomenal to bring Milton to the level where we needed to be. Really quick, I'm here to talk about the people that are here tonight. Somebody said, Bob, you only brought about 40 with you. I said, yeah, but we won the state championship 22 years ago. 22 years ago already? Yeah. I said, bump this back 15, 20 years and you would have had probably 140 people here. Doesn't matter. The people that are here tonight, there's a lot of things going on. I want to start off with my assistant coaches that were a big part of the program for years. Ryan Speaks, who's not here. We won the state title, no stranger to the wrestling community, people. Joe Terrell, where's Joe? I want him to stand up. Joe, where are you at? Stand up back there. Everybody knows the Terrell family's a Miracle Point. His dad, Tim Terrell's here. Probably in my book, one of the best officials that ever sit the mats back in the day. Also, I got Mike Lipinski from Minnesota, my assistant coach here. He drove down from Minneapolis today. Stand up, Mike. Another fantastic guy there. And I don't know how many people drove here, but I've got my first assistant that was part of the state championship team, Terry O'Brien. He drove 9 hours from Missouri to be here tonight for this event. And it's the first time I've seen Terry since 2023, so that's a long ways to come as well. Bruce Gang is not here, Chad Martin is not here, Pat Yock is not here, and another assistant coach, and no wrestling stranger by any means. The Moe family from Burlington, Chad Moe was an assistant for me, and everybody in this place knows Don Moe. Those people there, again, thank you. Wonderful people, wonderful supporters. You can't find a better wrestling family than the Moe family as well. And then again, also another coach, Matt Warner. Another person that's here tonight that I really want to recognize real quick is Dwayne Clubbin. Dwayne, where are you at? Right over here. I'll tell you what, that guy, yeah, give him a hand. That guy's done it all. You know what I like about Clubbin? Got introduced to Clubbin years ago through a guy by the name of Big Wally. And once I got to know Clubbin, he introduced me to Andy Ryan, head coach from Wisconsin today. And then from that point I went on to Barry Davis. And I got so much support from the university back in the coaching days to help our program grow from here to there. Dwayne Clubbin, thank you for all you've done for Wisconsin wrestling as well. Former wrestlers, real quick. I got Devin Dutcher over here. He's another young man that wrestled on our state runner-up team years ago. Jeff Schultz is not here. We got football tonight. Nate Rogers, I'm not sure if Nate's here or not. He was another one. And then, we've got other people here as well that I really think highly of. Dan Dixon. He's an officiator for years. He probably should have made the state tournament, but for every reason, I don't know why. He was fantastic in the day. He's from Elkhorn, Wisconsin. I got my good friend and one of my lead bartenders at Badger Bob's in Delta, Wisconsin, Russell Larry. He's here now. And I'll tell you what, there's a guy there. When we won our first conference title, which we weren't supposed to, who do you think the first call was in the morning? First call in the morning at 7:30, 8 o'clock. Hey, Bob, Russell Larry. I didn't know Russ. I knew Russ at the time, but not that good. Congratulations on winning your first conference title. I hope you can win again. We won 11 straight from that point forward. Thank you, Russ. Next one, Tim Sauer and his wife are here. Good friends of mine that work for me constantly. They drove up from Janesville today. Thank you for them being here as well. And again, I've got my other friends that are here as part of the deal tonight. I got, Todd Schaff, Steve Kelcher from UW Provision. How about giving them a round of applause? They're the big wrestling supporters. You bet. The big people. Anytime you want great steaks, great brats, whatever, you call UW Provision. people as well. Thank you to them. I appreciate that. Oh, and I certainly don't want to forget Dan Spilding and his wife. You know something, back in the day when it was Stone wrestling against Milton, him and I used to just beat up the papers ahead of time at the radio stations and all that, fill that gymnasium completely full, and we had some battles in the day that brought wrestling to its best in southeastern Wisconsin. Great friend, great guy, done a great job. The Spilding brothers, Dan Spilding and his wife, thank you. Well, I told him I'm not going beyond 5 minutes. Got a call the other day from somebody that says, actually with a text message, Bob, congratulations and go to the Hall of Fame. They didn't know what was wrong. They said, 2 things I remember. I was never a varsity wrestler, but I was in your ed program, and I was part of your wrestling program for 4 years, never varsity, and I can remember what you said. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And he said, I started out working mowing somebody's yard as a connection. And then he said, I remember what you told me. Opportunity knocks once, but seldom twice. And he said, right now, I've moved up the ladder. I'm now third in command for Procter & Gamble. Fantastic. That's what it's all about. And then I got a text message last week. Hey, Coach, just wanted to say hi, and that I always have accepted what you did for me. Made me the man I am. If you ever need anything, let me know. Love you, Coach. My reply was, thanks, you're the best. His reply was, not the best, but I remember my roots and don't take people for granted. Have a great weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, several others have texted me as well, but that person's here tonight. Part of my state championship team, Dustin Fox, right over here. Dustin, stand up. Give her a round of applause. State championship run was fantastic. Most of you know we took a great wrestling program, Wisconsin Rapids, down that year to win it. The only thing I couldn't figure out was that year when we wrestled the Burlington Regionals constantly and West Scotia Regionals, and for some reason that year we had that great team, the WIA turned around and sent us all the way up to Heartland Arrowhead, where there was 34 returning state qualifiers. I'm not sure how that happened. But anyways, doesn't matter. We won it, we moved on, we won the state championship team, and that's what the memories are all about. So anyways, everybody, I'll tell you, thank you for honoring me tonight for this event. I sincerely appreciate it. I congratulate all the other honorees, not only this year, but in prior years as well. And again, for the crowd that's here tonight, fantastic. It tells me Wisconsin wrestling is going to continue to move on, continue to grow, and continue to be one of the dominant sports here in the state of Wisconsin. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. Have a great weekend. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Again, inductees, please, when we're all done tonight, plan to be here for a picture, and then other groups may join them for pictures up here. Thank you very much.
All right, as we conclude this evening's ceremony, I want to express our deepest gratitude to everyone who made this celebration possible. And to our award recipients and our newest of our Hall of Fame inductees, congratulations on your well-deserved recognition. You exemplify the very best of Wisconsin wrestling. Again, I'd like to remind our 7 inductees to just move right to the right for a group picture, and then there'll be individual pictures to follow. And on behalf of the Wisconsin Wrestling Coaches Association, thank you for being here tonight. Have a great day 2 of our fall clinic, and a safe journey home. We'll see you on the mats.